once again to howtocookgreatfoods.com. If you haven't already, please click that button and subscribe to our channel. On the menu today, and as you can see right here, absolutely delicious. We're going to be making some sambusa or samosas, whichever you call them. These ones are vegetable. We've got a lot of potato in there, some lovely Indian spices. Absolutely delicious. An absolute must. You really have to try these out. Let's go and do it. Okay, let's take a look at some of the ingredients we're going to be using here. So at the back here, we've got some samosa or sambusa wrappers. We're just going to, they're just so convenient to buy from the store. You can buy, there's like 100 there or something for nothing. So yeah, just really convenient. Okay, potatoes, bell peppers, or if you wanted to use peas. I mean, traditionally a lot of people would use frozen peas in this. I don't really like peas in them, so I'm using these peppers, onions, carrots, chili. Now, you can see they're cut really, really small. Most of the work goes into cutting this stuff. If you want, you can actually grate it as well. You can just grate the whole lot, put it through a machine and grate it if you wanted. But yeah, nice and small. Some cilantro or coriander fresh. Here I've got garlic ginger paste. There's like a nice heaped teaspoon there for this amount. The chili again, cut nice and small. And then I've got some powders there, like I always use the big 4 equal amounts. Again, about a teaspoon of cumin, coriander, turmeric and chili powder. You can play around with the vegetables. You mostly need onions and potatoes in here, and everything else is kind of just a little add-on. So if you want to be putting some cauliflower in, or some mushrooms in, or zucchini in, or anything you like really, you can sort of decide on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get over to the cooker, start this off with a little touch of oil, and we're going to cook our filling. Okay, so here we are at the trusty cooker and my favourite pan at the moment. There you go, a little touch of oil in there. I'm using sunflower oil. You could be using something else if you want. So I'm heating this up, just turning the heat down a little bit. What we're going to do is get some onions in there. Potatoes. All can go in at the same time. And like I say, the potatoes and the onions are kind of the basis of this. Everything else is fairly secondary, so you can play around with that. The carrots, tiny carrots. Our garlic ginger paste. Now I'm using garlic ginger paste obviously because it's really nice and smooth. The chili. I'm going to add some salt to this, and at this stage we're going to cook this on a kind of, we're not really hard frying this. We're going to cook this for about 8 minutes, I would say, on a kind of medium-ish heat. I'll be back then, keep stirring. Okay, so as you can see, it's coming on really nicely. Nice and dry. Like, we don't want too much moisture in this, because the moisture's not going to work in the wrapper, but we're going to put them in later. So they're softening really well. I'm now going to add in those bell peppers. I'm just using a green one today. Like I said, if you want to use peas, celery, anything you like can go in. Give that a mix. Now I'm going to add those powders. And like I said, there's 4 powders there that I'm using. Turmeric, chili, cumin and coriander. If you wanted, just some curry powder would work. Like a mix that you might have. And again, on this slow, low heat, we're going to let this go for about another 4 to 5 minutes. If the potatoes mash down, it's not a problem. I mean, you can actually make this with a mashed potato. If you want some kind of lumps in there like we've got, where they've stayed together, okay. But if they mash a little bit, kind of actually helps the whole mixture, to be honest. So yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the heat now, and that is looking wonderful. Just at the very end, that fresh coriander or cilantro. You could also be adding some garam masala powder now if you wanted, but the balance of flavours are good for me. Now what we need to do is set this aside and let it cool down a little bit, and then we're going to go pop it in some wrappers, then cook them off. Okay, so our mixture is now cooling down. Still got a bit of heat in it, but you don't want to do it directly, it'd be way too hot. This is what we're trying to achieve. We've got our strips out here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them there. Now we're just going to show you how to fold them. I'll hand you over to Mr. Jim. And there he's just got a little bit of flour and water mixed, just as a little bit of glue. So just like a 50-50 bit of flour and water, mix it up and then you can use that just as a glue. Okay, so you've got your vegetables at the bottom of the wrapper and you make one fold there, another over there, back on itself there, in there, add your flour and water glue, fold it over there, and any little extra bit you can fold around. Okay, just one more time. Fold, 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 glue, and fold. Okay, we're going to do the rest of these, get them together, then we're going to get over to the cooker and fry them off. Okay, so I've now got a wok or a pan or a skillet on with about 2-3 centimeters of an oil. I'm using sunflower oil. There you go, there's all our samosas or sambusas, whatever you call them. Now what I like to do is, because it takes time to do these, just before we pop them in, just have a little squeeze around, just go around the edges and give it a little, you know, firm them up a little bit, because they will kind of come undone a little bit. Now let me just check this oil. Yeah, that's about right, so in they go. So everything's cooked inside. We're just looking to brown the pastry now. And you can do them as light or as dark as you wish. They're probably going to be about in this oil. And you can see this oil is not raging hot. It's just, you know, bubbling nicely there. But yeah, they're going to be about just 3 minutes. I'll flip them over in a moment. And again, don't crowd the pan. So I'm just going to do these in some batches. And also, like I say, it's always worth doing loads of this. If you're going to do it, it's probably worth just doing a load of them. You can just freeze them afterwards in this state, obviously, not in the cooked state. So yeah, just leave them alone a little bit because it's fairly delicate. And I'll just flip them in you know, a minute and a half or so. Okay, so just flip them over. As you can see, beautiful colour. What we're going to do in about a minute and a half, we're going to take them out. We're going to get them onto some paper towel or kitchen roll, whatever you call that. Set them aside and I'm going to repeat the process. And there you go, they're looking absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to fish these out, like I say, onto some paper towel. I'll repeat the process and then we'll be done. Very happy with these. Okay, and there you go, finished. I'm just serving those with some nice tomato chili sauce. I like that little dip in there and eat away. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It helps us out a great deal. And we'll see you soon. Lots of love.